Rose, the Primal Professor, and welcome to my 3-month carnivore update. Boy, when I started this journey, I wasn't sure I was going to even make it one day, and I was going keto to carnivore, but my original challenge was to try to do it for 3 days, and here I am 3 months later, totally stuck it through and true to carnivore. No cheat days or anything. And I've got progress, I've got surprises, and a pair of vintage jeans that I used to just last month had to lay down on the bed to zip up, and I am wearing them right now. And a whole lot of encouragement for those who are walking this path with me, who started with me or a little bit after me. So let's dive in. So I have my notes here so I don't forget anything. So let's talk about the numbers. My weight held steady for the month. If you remember my 2-month update, I was traveling across country to and from Utah, and I had lost 4 pounds in that second month. And when I came back from Utah, it was strange. I had put a pound or 2 on. It was a little strange, but I'm back down to the original 12 pounds I lost in the 2 months, and my weight has held steady. But I did lose another ½ inch off my waist, and so my waist is down to 30.5 inches. And so if I'm in these jeans, the last time I wore these jeans was 35 years ago, when I got married, and I'm back in them. So that's the last time I had a 30.5 inch waist. My hip measurement went up like a ½ inch, but I did start resistance training in the 2-month period. So for about 3 weeks, I've been doing heavy, significant resistance training. So we'll just chalk that up to I think my booty's getting tighter and higher. So that's what I believe. But I think it's due to increased muscle from the resistance training. I do I do a full body resistance training 2 days a week. So the size, I'm in size 10 pants. This is another non-scale victory. So while I didn't lose more weight, I did lose inches. I'm in a size 10 pants across pretty much any brand now. It's consistent, and what I'm finding is that a 10 is super comfortable, and starting the waist is loose, and I'm not squeezing into them. I'm a 10 size pants, not a 10. But I slid into these Jordache jeans at my 2-month mark. I had to lay down, suck in my belly, take a deep breath, and zip them up. This month I was able to stand and just zip. Now I had to squeeze together at the waist, but and I do. Let me back up and show you. So let me show you. Here they are. You can see them. These are the old-fashioned jeans. There's no stretch to these whatsoever. And do I have a little muffin top? I would say yeah. Sorry, the sun is coming in and going out. But do I have a muffin top? I do. There's no give in these jeans, but it's really not bad. But I thought they were a size 12. When I looked today, they were a size 14. So a 14 from 35 years ago is now a 10 of today. But nonetheless, that was the original goal when I got my lap band. I kept these jeans for 35 years, and that was the original goal, to get back into them. So I did it. Now, what really stands out this month, and if I had to sum it up, is there's obviously recomposition going on, because last month I really struggled getting into these jeans. I'm wearing them today. They're actually they're comfortable to wear, and I will start wearing them again regularly. And so obviously things are changing, even though the scale has not. My weight didn't move, but my body does look firmer. So I notice my legs are firmer. I'm starting to see that muscle definition come back. Now, I lost about 10 pounds in the first month. That was pretty quick. And I remember thinking back to that time, boy, my skin, even on my forearm, looked like extra, and on my lower legs. All of that has tightened up and the skin looks firmer as well. My body looks firmer from, even though I've completed 3 weeks of the resistance training, I can tell things are starting to firm up for me. Muscle definition is starting to show in my arms. Now, you can see I have a little muscle there, but if I contract, you can see this is where, if we could take that off, that's what my arm really looks like. But there is some extra skin there. But I do have muscle. I'm starting to see some delt come back. You can see that. And my legs are definitely firmer. It feels good. And what I'm doing in the gym is 2 days a week, and I do full body on both days. I give myself a day or 2 or 3 days in between for rest. It was funny. My sister had stopped up, only a sister's love, and she goes, "Yeah, you do look like you lost weight. You don't have near as much back fat as you did before. You can't see your bra lines as much." Only a sister's love, but it was good to hear nonetheless. And that, again, is another non-scale victory. But now you know what kind of family I grew up in. We just say what we need to say. And the other thing I noticed when I got back from around the 2-month mark, and from then till now, like, I had lost 4 pounds that month. Then when I got back from Utah, I mean, it was tough eating on the road. I probably ate less, and then I put a pound or 2 on, and then I've since got them off. But when I first came back, I kind of had fluid in my ankles, and that went away. So I don't know what that was. It was pretty hot then, though. But right now, we've had hot weather, and it got a little cooler lately. But even in the hot weather, after that one episode, I don't know if it was traveling in the car so much, my body is not holding on to fluid. When normally I would swell when I had more weight on, my ankles would swell a little bit. I'm still, my blood pressure is good. It's that low normal. I would say 110 over 70, sometimes 108 over 70, but no symptoms of orthostatic hypotension, like I can get up quick, go down, no lightheadedness. So that is really been good. I have no ankle swelling whatsoever, and I have that arthritic ankle. But my blood pressure is normal and no medication required. So what that really does speak to is, and the ankle with no pain speaks to how much the inflammation really came down in my body. Another big difference that I noticed is recovery after exercise. I hit it pretty hard. Again, I'm exercising full body resistance to failure. So I get anywhere 3 sets of 7 to 10 reps, and I have enough weight on that it's really hard for me to finish that last rep each set. And so and sometimes, depending on the legs, I can pretty much do the 3 sets. But like a bench press, sometimes I only get to 7 on the last set. And I have nobody guarding me, so I have to be a little bit careful. So I'm pushing hard, I'm lifting hard, and I don't get the DOMS, which is delayed onset of muscle soreness. Usually within 24 to 48 hours, you get that soreness. I did the first week, but and I can tell I worked out, but I don't have that soreness. So I'd love to hear from all my carnivores. Is that less noticeable on Carnivore? Because it's not that I'm not pushing hard, because I am. So again, speaks to inflammation. I don't know. All right. Now here's the fun. Oh, I am, as far as gut health, I'm going twice a week, comfortable and consistent. And my hair, like I need another haircut already, is growing like a weed. My nails are growing really quickly. My skin, like I said, my skin has tightened up. It doesn't look like I recently lost weight. I was seeing that on my arms and my legs. Now my upper thighs, you can still tell, not as bad. And it's important to build the muscle underneath. That really helps to improve the shape and how how the skin looks after you lose weight. I am hitting my leucine targets of more 2.5 and usually more for each meal, and that has been consistent. And I'm really trying to do that more consistently now that I'm lifting, because I really want to build muscle and I want to build strength. I feel stronger. I feel good. I'm getting close to my protein goals. I'm 161.2 or whatever, and I just can't 5 or 6 pounds from that goal weight. So I'm looking to get like 150 grams, between 150 and 155 grams of protein, and I'm coming up short 15 to 20 grams per day, but I'm closing the gap. My body feels well fed and nourished. I eat if I'm hungry. I don't eat it. I will say sometimes I make sure I eat, because I'm really working on the protein. And before I go to work out, I will take a protein shake, and I'm using Fairlife whole milk. So there's 6 grams of carbs only, and there's 13 grams of protein in an 8-ounce glass. Plus, so I'm getting dairy, and then I'm getting which has casein and leucine in it, both essential amino acids, and then I'm using Equip Prime protein, and I seem to tolerate that pretty well, and I'll have that before I go work out. I'll also take a bottle of my electrolytes, which is Element. I noticed the other day I forgot my electrolytes at home, and I don't feel like I performed as well with the lifting as I did when I had my electrolytes. But I am using a protein shake on that day, and then I come home and have my regular breakfast. So that's usually 3 eggs, bacon, or turkey sausage, or if I had leftover ribeye from the night before, or burger with that. So I'm definitely hitting, I think this morning I had like 60 grams because I had a leftover steak and eggs. I believe I had close to 60 grams of protein with breakfast, or 70. So I'm really trying to hit that protein. Now here's the fun part. I have never gone to one of my class reunions from high school. And this year they were having a 60th birthday party picnic for my class. And so it was fun. It was nice to go. I haven't seen these people in over 40 some years. What am I, 60? So that's 42 years. I haven't seen some of these people. And my husband and I graduated together. And so what was really fun about it and encouraging is that everyone was kind of floored when they saw Mark and myself, and they said how wonderful we looked. And it was a very eye-opening and very encouraging, especially for Mark, because I always tell you he's reluctantly keto. And I asked him tonight during dinner, do you feel younger? I said, do you feel better since you're being more consistent with keto? He goes, I don't feel old. I still feel young. And this is the man who's had 2 total knees, a repair of his shoulder, and laminectomies from L1 to L5. So his back, knock on wood, his back is good. He feels good, and mentally he feels young. So that was very encouraging for him to hear. And seeing how my fellow classmates, some of them, we had, I think, 9 of them no longer with us, and seeing how some of them age really made me feel so grateful that I stumbled upon this lifestyle 6 or 7 years ago. So I'm grateful for my health. So that was fun though, but very encouraging, and it felt good. Now, this is the core message to my 2-month video. I'm going to read this because I want to make sure I get it right. I want to pause for a second and speak from the heart, because this is the moment where a lot of people begin to panic. I'm sorry, the sun went in, so if the screen's a little dark. You're doing everything right, and the scale stops moving, and suddenly you feel tempted to cut calories, add hours of cardio, restrict more, or start questioning everything. Just because I'm a health coach and in the health field, I still feel those same things. It would have been very easy this month for me to cut more food. And actually, I'm doing the opposite. I think what happened when I went to Utah was I did cut because I traveled 3 days out and 3 days back, and it was eating on the road. So I had burger patties or something. I did eat less. And when I got back home, I got more into my routine, and whatever reason, I went up a pound or 2 briefly, and then it went away. But even though I have this knowledge and I work with clients and I see what happens all the time, I still had all those same feelings of like, I'm going to not eat. I'm going to fast. I'm going to do this. And it's hard for me to just be, if you will, just like the song Let It Be, just let it be in this phase. Don't take any radical moves or turns, okay? This is exactly when your body is doing the deepest work. So it's rebuilding, it's repairing, and it's recomposing. The skin is tightening up. My waist is still shrinking, even though the scale's staying the same. I did put on muscle. I'll give you those stats. So when I started this challenge, my percent body fat was 28.5. And this, even though I didn't lose weight, my percent body fat went down to 26.9. Almost 2 whole percentages. That's huge at 60 years old. Okay, so, and with 12 pounds of fat loss, that's a lot of, that's 12 pounds of weight loss. That's not a ton of weight, and I'm closer to my goal weight, so it is pretty significant. But I'm still obese according to the charts, but my goal is to get in below 25. So that really is evidence that my body is going through a recomposition. And essentially what's happening is that my body's catching up to the weight that I've already lost. And again, it's doing its deepest repair. And it's not just shedding pounds, I'm also healing. My ankle, I don't even think about my ankle anymore. That's amazing. Any shoes seem not to hurt, where it seemed like every pair of shoe I put on 3 months ago was hurting. My skin is adjusting. This is the time when your hormones are rebalancing. Your muscle tissue is growing. I'm getting some guns here again. Feels good. And none of that shows up on the scale. Okay, so It's okay. Recomposition happens in the quiet when there's not a lot of hurrah. It doesn't mean things aren't happening. It's just not the scale. So if you're in that awkward, nothing's happening phase or zone, stay the course. No matter how tempted you are to fall back into old patterns, like go walking for an hour, 7 days a week. You can do that, but you don't need to do that. Keep nourishing your body. Listen to your hunger signals and your satiety cues. Eat enough protein. We prioritize protein, and fat's our lever, right? So if we're not losing, we can lower our fat. If we're getting hungry in between, we can up our fat. And rest. Don't forget the rest part. If you remember what I said, I am only lifting twice a week, and I'm seeing these gains, and I'm giving my body rest in between. I am planning on I'm going to try going for a walk to enjoy this beautiful weather. We almost have fall-like weather. It's not real cold, but the leaves are starting to change here in Pennsylvania. It's my favorite time of year, and I just want to be outside as much as I can be. My garden is flourishing, and so I'm pulling we're getting tomatoes, we're getting a lot of cucumbers. Mark is enjoying them. And that brings me to the next point where you have to trust the process, even when it feels quiet, when it feels like nothing's happening or the scale's not moving. Just trust the process, because that quiet, that's where the magic of recomposition happens. The best part, hands down, of Carnivore, and there's so many good, my ankle, no pain is great. I have a 30-inch waist. Oh my God, now will I ever get below a 30? I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm happy where I am, but I'd be happy to do that as well. But I think I told you I have a muffin top. That's the extra skin from losing weight. But the fact that it's going in, and that lower stomach, that it got actually into these jeans, I couldn't even begin to zip them because of that lower stomach. And now it went right up and over. And actually it gaps a little bit in the waist. And these are a very high waist. The fact that I have all those wonderful gains, I still say the best part, hands down, is how Carnivore makes my brain feel. I'm sharper, I'm clear, I'm calm, I'm focused, I'm incredibly productive. And the thing that we all struggle with as we get older, that short-term memory loss, what's the name of that guy, that sort of thing? My recall is definitely better. That has noticeably improved. And this mental clarity is something I never want to lose. And I know I talk about that every month, but it really has made a difference. I have goosebumps when I say that. So, as I said, I'm also going to start walking outside more to increase my time in the sun and fresh air, and I'll see how my ankle handles it. And yes, I will finally get my blood work done. My goal was to try to get it done for month 3, but I had a lot going on. But that's on the list. And so that's month 3. A tighter body, a clearer mind, stable weight, and amazing strength. That's all a win. That is the definition of transformation from the inside and the outside. And what I might do this next month, 3 to 4, because my garden is now at the harvest time. I remember I planted late, and it was the end of June, beginning of July. We finally got some tomatoes. I have a ton of peppers. I may add, I'm curious to see if I never thought I had a problem with vegetables, but I'm going to add peppers and maybe tomatoes back in, or cucumbers with dinner, and just for one meal, and see if if that causes any changes. And again, remember, we all are doing this N of 1 experiment. So again, so if you're on this similar journey with me, if you feel like you have a stall, really, a stall is longer than a month. I think it needs to happen longer. Give your body a good month to catch up to the weight loss you had, maybe 2 months, maybe 3, and don't stop feeding it. Keep the nutrition up, hit your protein goals. Remember, a minimum of 50 to 60 grams of fat. If you have a lot of fat to lose, then let your body burn your own fat. Body composition is real. The scale is not the full story. Please remember that. Drop a comment below with what your latest non-scale victory is, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more updates. And for those of you who have lost weight on carnivore or keto, for the new folks in the community, talk about your body recomp. How many months did you go without losing? Or did you make the mistake where you were starting to cut calories more? I hear that from some people. There's no way I'm not eating enough. Or maybe I shouldn't be fasting. So, and again, I'm not saying fasting is bad, but there's a time and a place and a right time to do it and a right time not to do it. And it's really how your body responds to it, and everybody's different. So drop a comment on your experience with any kind of recomposition periods, and how did you know and you were doing that, and how long did it last, to help the folks in the community. All right. I'll see you in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe. Going on month 4.